Alright, welcome to Happy Orchid Fun Time here on Eccentric Nature. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Kew Gardens exhibition, which has only happened until March 10th of 2019. If you're watching this before then, go see it. It is awesome. If you're seeing it after then, enjoy the retrospective. Hey. The funny thing is when you first walk into the exhibition it looks like it's nothing. You just come in and you're like, oh, this is like other plants. Where's the orchids? And then, oh look, there's some Phalaenopsis. That's nice. Oh look, there's more Phalaenopsis. Oh, okay. Oh wait, more Phalaenopsis in big groupings. What? Where's all the rest of them? This is it? Is this all we're gonna get? Wait a second, this can't be it. And it feels like that for a little bit. In the whole first room, that's all you get. I get this cool guy who's hanging in the corner who's watering plants. I mean, there's that. But, I mean, otherwise, all you're getting is a bunch of Phalaenopsis orchids. So, hey, woohoo! Then there's, of course, kids all over the place, because I went during half term and they were, like, breaking orchids off like this. Oh my gosh, kids! Be nice to the plants. But then luckily I went into that first door and we started to get into more interesting stuff. I took an immediate turn and went into the carnivorous section, which I found these guys, and hidden amongst some of them were some of the Paphiodeliums. And there's lots of them in this show, actually. There's lots of different, like at least 5, maybe 6 different breeds of Paphiodeliums. And then there's other interesting ones you haven't seen before. And then of course there's these huge columns of orchids going all the way up to the ceiling like this one. It's just, oh my gosh. They are just impressive, like, to all get out. And had some other ones too I'm going to show in a second here that actually go across as well. But yeah, most of the ones, again, that are all the way up, they have a lot of Phalaenopsis on them, but it's still impressive nonetheless. But okay, these ones here. This one was an overhanging arch that went over the main area in one direction, then it went over in another arch, and I didn't really capture the whole thing because it was just so big and so hard to get in one photograph. You have to go see it. You have to go see it yourself if you can. If you're not, well, enjoy what you can. All the hanging roots are really cool too for me. I mean, just seeing them all just hanging out like this is, when you have them in your home, you can't do that as much. Oh right, so the Cattleya trinii. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. The Cattleya trinii, also known as the Mayflower or Christmas orchid, is actually the national flower of Colombia. The Cattleya trinii is actually named after a Colombian naturalist who's named Jose Geronimo Triana. But it was actually selected by botanist Emilio Robledo. So sorry if I'm killing all these pronunciations. Yeah, they say on one of the breeds it actually looks like the Columbian flag, but I was really surprised. I couldn't find that many in this show, and I like, oh wait, here's one. I think is the Cattleya trinii right there. Boom. Otherwise, I mean, you know, that's it. These two Cattleyas there were the ones that look like the trinii, and there's a couple others I think are hiding in here, and if you see one, let me know, because I didn't, I mean, there weren't that many, this particular one, which is a bit surprising. You'd think, being their national orchid, you'd have a few more in this show. But, you know, that's just one of the minor knocks on this, because this show overall was incredibly impressive. Now, of course, the whole purpose of the show was to be an exhibition of Columbian orchids, and Colombia actually has the largest amount of individual orchid species in the world, and apparently there's somewhere around 1,500 separate different varieties of Cattleyas in Colombia alone, or different species of Colombia. I'm sorry, different species. Yeah, there's 1,500 different species of orchid in Colombia alone. I'm not sure exactly how many. For the triniis, they tend to grow up much higher up in the Andes, around like over 1,000 up to 3,000 meters, I think. Sorry if I'm speaking too fast or anything, because this show just jazzed me up. I was just so excited about the whole thing. I loved it to death. And I mean, it took a long amount of time in there myself. I was in there a good hour and a half, I think. I found a small statistic that says Colombia, I think, grows around some 16,000 different varieties of orchids, which are shipped around the world, and they actually have like about, what was it, I think the statistic said 76,000 orchids were shipped out in 2017. So, I mean, wow. I mean, our huge amount of our orchid market, I think, comes from Colombia. But yeah, the nice thing is they had this all separated into different zones, where in each area, of course, different orchids handle different temperatures, and some are warmer than others, and some are wetter than others. And they had it all separated in these different areas so the different orchids could be in there. And they even had some in some glass cases. But it's great, because every room you go into, you get different kinds of orchids, and each of them impressive in their own right. And some of them hanging outright and some of them in these little nice basket containers, and these arrangements that are just look really gorgeous. I like how they have them set out. And the columns are everywhere. It's just, oh my gosh. I love this show. I can just go on and on about it, but there's a couple of really interesting different varieties. Like these pink ones here are just like, what? Look at those guys. They're just, I'm not sure what the breed is myself, but, whew. Breed, that's like dogs. What am I thinking? No, like, I'm not sure what the varietal is. But yeah, every room had a different kind of display. Some of them just had, general areas. But there's these displays, like this one of these last rooms had this water display, and there's these humongous catfish that are in the water. I mean, these guys are massive. They must be like at least 50 pounds or more. But I didn't get any on the video, but man, you gotta go in and see them. And oh gosh, these guys here, these red ones were just impressive. And on the way out, even as I was heading out, they had some other nice displays as well. But that's it. That's the end of the show, people. Hope you enjoyed my little retrospective of the Kew Gardens show. Thank you for tuning in again. Hey, please make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go ahead and drop me some comments if you know anything about some of the orchids in the show today. And hit the bell button, of course, because that way, anytime I release a new video, you'll know about it. Woo! Otherwise, hey, thanks for joining me. Have a good day.